Good morning, everybody. We are so glad to be here. Sorry for starting late. My very techie guest is here this morning.
I wish I was.
And it's helping me to navigate some of this, difficult terrain. But thank God we have gotten it right eventually. And we are here now. We had a lot of mix-up. And maybe this is just an opportunity to just appreciate Pastor Ijumade. He has been our backbone here, helping us with these things, So now that he's not in the house, we can see what can happen when you are not prepared.
Exactly.
But maybe we should just quickly use this time to share the videos.
Oh, yeah.
And just get some more people on board so that they can see what we are up to this morning. Where is this video now?
So, sharing already.
You have shared yours. I'm about to share mine. Esther Josh, good morning. I can see a lot of people are already on board. Thank you very much for being here. So I will do my share now, write my post, and send it away now. It. Yes, I think one other person has joined our video this morning on Instagram. Well, I don't know whether people are there yet. It's a bit difficult to read the people that are there. Mama Angie is here.
Good morning.
Thank you, Mama. Thanks for always supporting your children. Thanks, Mama, for being here. All right, this morning we have a very special topic to unfold and unpack this morning, and I have my very, very, very able friend in the house who goes by the name
John G. Milo, simple.
And I actually, in typing your introductions, I said that a public speaker. And they are also an addiction therapist.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. You're right about that.
I know. I'm in the spirit. I know these things because I actually know that. Yeah, you flow in that regard. And I am Nike Adekole, and I'm a couple therapist and a relationship coach. And we are here this morning to unpack this very topic of can she too be pressured?
Oh yeah.
Into infidelity. Why we are having this discussion is because it's high time we began to have real conversations, around these issues. Because it's one thing to be caught.
Yeah.
And it's another thing for people to expect that you'll be apologetic and repent, and it's another thing to find out how did you get to this place in the first, in the first instance. What happened to you? So I think we should begin to facilitate, real conversations.
Oh yes.
Until you understand why somebody did something. That is until when the person is, that is when the person is given the right atmosphere to explain him or herself. Because sometimes some people ask me, are you making a case for people that are unfaithful now? That is not the intention.
Yeah.
That is not the intention. The intention is to be able to further these conversations that are real. People are falling into this, trap from time to time, and we need to begin to have real conversations around these issues so that people don't shy away from their truth. Be okay about speaking your truth.
Yes.
The morality of it is another thing.
Oh yes.
Which you will get, we'll get into. But when we don't understand why we have done something and we just expect that repent and come out of it, then the person is not truly healed. The person now begins to get smarter in hiding these things from people.
Oh yes.
Instead of getting healed. And if there's any purpose of doing what we are doing, it's for healing, and it's to further conversations around this.
Exactly. So
that people can be healed. And if there's going to be a change, let there also be a change. So this morning I want to say thank you. I know that you are very deep. I've sampled and talked to you, and I know that you are very deep in this subject. But someone saw this and said, are you making a case for women? Are you becoming a feminist by deciding to talk about this issue? So this morning, I just want to quickly let us create a balance.
Fantastic.
what is the historical reason why it is the woman that is expected to be faithful and the men are expected to sometimes miss it? But can we put it in a kind of historical context?
Okay.
Why do these things happen? Is it just born out of, people talk about culture and criticize culture all the time as if it is just senseless culture. What do you think gave rise to this imbalance in the first place?
Well, thank you for having me. Such an honor, to be here doing this with you.
Yeah.
I've always envisioned this, and somehow, somehow, it's happening.
Yeah.
This is a very sensitive topic.
Yes, it
like
is.
you rightly, try to, just strike the balance.
Yeah.
And let me just quickly say this. I'm going to say some things, those who know me know that, I try to get very practical when it comes to issues like this.
Yeah.
And to be upfront, this is not to side the women or to support women, going into infidelity.
No.
But it's just to be honest, it's just to create some form of balance, like you rightly mentioned. We cannot deal with this, issue without, like you rightly mentioned, without dealing with this historical background of men, who have always been the ones, who go out there. Either we look at it, from the cultural perspective, or just look at it, from the general holistic, perspective. Men have always, been the ones, who go out. They've always been, the outgoing one, who will have to hunt, or go look for jobs, and all of that. And in the process, of men going out historically, a lot of things, get to happen with them meeting, people, with them meeting other women. And, things actually do happen with men, who go out there. So the women, who are the ones, to sit back home, raise the family, look after the children and what have you, sometimes, or most times, rather, are usually advised, to just stay level-headed.
Yeah.
To be the ones, who just understand and bear with the men for the fact that they are the ones, who are the breadwinner, who go out, to do whatever it takes, just to ensure that they put food on the table. So historically, this has always, been the case.
Yeah. Now, if I hear you correctly, you are saying that women are usually advised that they should be a bit cool-headed when it comes to relating with their husbands.
Yes.
Because sometimes when women hear things like "calm down," they feel like, why are you not telling him to calm down?
Yes.
But historically, culture arose from that place where men are always going out. They are the ones that meet people. You are the one that will be at the losing end eventually. And if you don't take time to calm down with this man, you already have the baggage of children and all of that.
Yes.
And this guy still goes out every day. He meets people. You don't meet anybody.
Exactly.
But things are changing gradually now. And I think that is why it is important to have this fresh conversation, around these issues.
Yes.
So before we begin to talk about, because I think in closing, we might need to now draw this balance.
Sure.
Because like I said, the purpose of setting out to talk about this is for healing and for change.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, what would you say that, is it, in fact, let me even start with, is it possible in this day and age, we don't live in that century anymore, where women don't go out, where they don't mix with other people? Do you think that in this day and age, it is still a possibility that just like a man can be pressured to commit infidelity? We hear it from our mothers. They tell us that you will drive him out with your bad behavior, with your bad cooking, women know, and it is out there in the society that everybody knows that a woman, you need to be upright, you need to be cool-headed, you need to be supportive of your husband's dream, you need to, the rules are plenty. That you need to do all of these things to keep your man.
Superwoman.
Yes, you need to do all of these things to keep your, your home and your man. And a woman is expected never to fall into infidelity because she has more grace, she has more power. Is it possible that a woman can be pressured into infidelity?
All right, intriguing one. Let's jump right into this. To start with, I will want to say this. I think failure to admit that you're married to a fellow human being like you is the reason for so many frustration in married relationship.
Yeah.
If we see the man, to be human enough to be able, to make certain mistakes.
Yeah.
We see the man, as human enough to be able to have extramarital affair or, go into infidelity.
Yeah.
So I think, we should be able in the same vein, in the same way, to also, see the woman as someone who is susceptible, who can be, that's the key word right there. The key word, right here is pressured, who can be pressured, into infidelity. So the woman is a human being, just like the man.
Yes.
She's not a superwoman. Thank God, for all the things you mentioned on how society, I call it societal conditioning.
Yeah.
All the societal conditioning on women, the double standard is that, we try to make excuses for the men, forgetting, that we are both human. The same blood that flows through the man's vein is the same blood, that flows, through the woman's vein. So can a woman be pressured into infidelity? Emphatically, yes, she can. For several reasons. Several reasons. A woman can most definitely, emphatically, that's the word, be pressured into infidelity.
Okay, because it feels like the conversation has always been around keep your man. So it means that the men also would need to be able to keep their woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that is the new conversation now that we should be having. It is not just about keep your man. It is also about you two keeping your woman. So maybe for the sake of the people that are watching, you said for several reasons. And you closed your eyes while you said several reasons. Would you want to walk us through some of these reasons?
Okay.
So that people that feel like women, you must be a witch for you to have done this, so that they can know some of these things. Maybe we should just,
To be very practical.
Okay.
To be very practical, the conversation you've had, I've watched every of them, it's been centered around basically economic reasons, why a woman, why most women or some women cheat or some women, go into infidelity. But that's not the only reason, women actually go into infidelity. When a woman is devalued, when a woman is uncared for, when a woman's needs are unmet, when a woman, is in a relationship where she is emotionally drained, when a woman feels less important, when she's seen, to be a nobody in a relationship, when a woman, is in a relationship where she's not talked to, no conversation is going on.
She's just talked at.
Exactly, she's not being talked to. No heart-to-heart connection when it comes to conversation between that woman and the man in that relationship. These are several reasons. Most people believe, that women go into infidelity solely because they are weak, or they are naturally, they are cheats. No. When a man does not meet a woman's need, you have set her up for infidelity.
Okay,
that's just
maybe if I get you right, because I don't want this to be I don't want to be misquoted now,
Exactly.
because I actually brought you
Let's go there.
I actually brought you in because you are a man, and you could see from the men's perspective.
Exactly.
And we don't want to make this a feminist discussion. So now that it's coming from you, I am alarmed and alarmed. Okay. So if I would say that in layman's English, you are trying to say that if I am caught in infidelity, and I say that I don't feel emotional connection to this man, it can be a reason for me to be out there. And society will not stone me immediately.
Well, that has always been the case.
Because emotional connection, people will feel like, are you okay? Is he paying your bills? Yes. Is he, is he a good father to your children? Yes. But you now say, I don't have emotional connection. Please, so explain. I don't understand this.
Let's be very clear on this. For far too long, like I mentioned earlier, the woman has been seen to be a second-class citizen to the man. The woman, has been devalued, and that's part of the societal conditioning, that it is allowed for the man, for whatever reason, it is okay for the man to go out there, and do whatever he wants to, and have extramarital affair.
Yeah.
And in the same vein, when a woman is caught, or when a woman, comes out to actually say that, she has been involved.
Because
in
even our
a case,
background story says that the lady actually confessed,
which makes it a very good case.
Okay, so now that if she confesses and says that I don't have emotional connection, I think that sincerely, people, so even her herself, she would not be able to say it. And I think that is some of the pain that a lot of women face. They don't, if I say the truth, who will hear me? Who would believe that it is enough reason? For this, okay, let's imagine some money bags wives, for instance, that the guy is never home, and when she's caught maybe with a driver or something, people just generally feel that she's a psychiatric patient.
Yeah.
So how important, in your opinion, is this emotional connection to a woman? What does it do for her that, steadies her? What's
Women are emotional beings. We cannot take that away. That is the way they're wired. That's not to say, that men are devoid of emotions,
yeah.
I'm a man, and I'm very emotional.
Yeah.
And no matter how emotional men are, it is still nothing compared. The key word here is wiring. Women are wired to be emotional. That's the way God created them. We can take that setting, that default setting away. Most men, most times in a marriage relationship, men actually do forget that women connect on emotional level, whilst we connect on physical level. So I will rephrase: when a woman emotional needs are unmet, the man, exactly, the man is the one calling for trouble. Societal conditioning, pressure or not. When a woman emotional needs are unmet, it is a big issue. And in this particular case, this woman owned up. She came out and confessed. Now, when it comes to infidelity, the greatest infidelity is not confessing.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people, who live. That's the greatest infidelity. It is not, whether she did it or she didn't do it. But this woman owned up.
I'm afraid because there are some people that
this woman owned up. She confessed.
It is better for them not to talk about it.
Exactly.
What will happen? What she will happen when You confess. Some women are beginning to feel like, is it worth it to actually confess? Because, like I said, there's been a lot of background things happening. We are doing a live video, and it's Facebook.
Yeah.
People can easily read your comments and all of that. And there's a lot that happens behind the
it's
scenes.
okay. I'm used to it.
so people don't want to say like exactly what they feel out here, but they may call.
That's part of the double standard, of the society.
And in fact, one of the problems that we even had was getting people to put their face on some of those discussions. Was difficult. Some people would say, no, this is a very sensitive topic. I don't want to come and appear there. So sincerely, I appreciate you for doing this morning. Emotional connection is huge.
Is important for the woman.
It's huge. A woman needs to feel like she's loved. A woman needs to feel like she's seen. A woman needs to feel like she's heard. And when those are not present, some people, if you have adult children, women are able to cope by, just generally making them her boyfriend of some sort, or replacement husbands.
Yes.
But for a lot of women that don't even have that privilege yet of having children that they can converse with intelligently, they just feel empty. No matter the amount of money that is at their disposal, it just is not enough.
Yes.
So they still need something more. And if you catch a woman that is unfaithful, and she says that I feel devoid of emotional connection, it is a reason.
Oh yes.
And we should begin to accept this. Just like we will say that if you don't cook for your husband, you are pushing him out, which is true, really.
If you don't connect with a woman emotionally, you are pushing her out.
So okay, let's go ahead.
That's the balance.
Let's go ahead.
I love this particular case because if I were this man, okay, I know men are different. We're different, like my coach.
I'm actually happy this morning.
Men are different.
I wanted to hear men's perspective, and I'm hearing this.
Men are different, and like my coach, will always say, our worldview is always colored by our exposure, our education, our experience, and encounters in life. We can't take that away, and the fact that men are different will make us, look at things, differently.
Slightly differently, yeah.
But the key factor here for me, in this case, is that if I were in this man's shoe, the first thing to be concerned about, if you genuinely love this woman, is to find out, where was she mentally? Where was she psychologically as at the time this happened?
Yeah.
It's okay. This is, you're talking about history. If we trace history back to the garden, I know, we have some viewers who are not religious people. But for those of you, who may believe, in the Bible, if we trace this back to history, the sin of man, has always been, heaped and put on Eve.
Yeah.
So if we go back to history, we see this, happening.
Are you sure that men they will denounce you from
whatever?
Husbands Association will denounce you.
I deal with this every time, so I know the pain women face. I grew up, with my mom, and I saw all, my mom, had to go through just in raising and taking care of us. And my mom is not a modern day. Is not a modern day woman. If she was alive today, she would have been 70. She was a hardworking, woman. She was, she was a fashion designer, a tailor. She was a fashion designer. She cooked. She did everything, to ensure, that she put food on the table. But I watched my mom at some point cracked. I watched my mom, at some point cave in, not because she wanted to, but because she was pressured to. And I'm not just using, her as the only case study. There are different women, who are going through this emotional, torture. But society has conditioned them never to come out, to say their truth, or to talk about it. And I've dealt with them time and time again. Now, men need to realize this, and society needs to know. No matter how strong a woman is still a woman. She's created by God to be emotional. And she's not conditioned to carry some pressure. And if she carries, those pressure, we can ask, we can ask Cardi B. We can ask, I can call some Nigerian names. We can ask some Nigerian artists, who have gone into that. And they realize, that no matter how strong a woman is, she's still emotional. She's not designed to carry some weight and some pressure.
Okay, I'd also want to ask.
Yeah.
Aside this emotional reasons,
Mm-hmm.
are there other reasons?
Oh, sure.
Let's go there.
Oh, sure. Why is it okay for a woman, like I mentioned earlier, why is it okay for a woman to, not to go into infidelity for whatever reason at all?
Yes, no reason is acceptable.
Whatever reason at all, those reasons are not acceptable. But the same society has made it okay that once a woman, cannot cook, once a woman, doesn't talk to her husband in the proper way, there's a proper way to talk to a
your
man.
Attitude and character should be on point.
There's a proper way, to talk to a woman. To a man rather.
Yeah. If not, he's going out there.
Exactly.
Expect him to be gone.
If we justify, I need us to come back to that. If we justify the men to have reasons, this is the key, right here. If we justify men to have reasons to go into infidelity, I think is highly unfair, highly unfair for us, not to see that. And that's why, I deeply appreciate you, for daring to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Can we just sit down and begin to ask why why is it, that women go into infidelity? And whether we accept it or not, a lot of women do. Statistics show that they do. Either they confess it or not. Women do. They do, a lot of them. And the way this thing, has been designed is that women are also, very good at keeping, you know what I mean? They're good, at keeping infidelity secret.
Under wraps.
Yeah, they are very good at that as compared, to men. So if society justify men for whatever reason, they have for going into infidelity, society should also begin to ask, okay, if women are beginning, or if we're beginning, to
discover
that they also go into infidelity. So we should be able to start having conversation around the reason. Now, apart from emotional reasons or emotional connection, a man who is always constantly irresponsible, okay?
Yeah.
A man, who is intentionally irresponsible.
Intentionally. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean? IJ Queen is there. I saw a Sonny Nebi is there.
Now, let me say this, so that it doesn't look as if I'm picking on the men today. I'm just out here, I'm a man, I'm representing us. But sometimes, I just think it's unfair. We put far too much weight on these women. A man, who... A woman, rather, let me rephrase, a woman, rather, who becomes a breadwinner as a result of the man's shared irresponsibility. And the man, has gotten to a point, where he just constantly keeps saying, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. I've done my best. Can't you see, that I'm doing my best? I just think, in that kind of scenario, either we admit it, either we accept this or not. What you're doing is you're setting up your woman, to meet the foxes, to meet the wolves, to meet the lions, out there. And anything can happen under that circumstance.
Okay, so you are saying now that if a man
yes
is not taking financial leadership in the home,
exactly,
it is a possibility for the woman to go out.
Yes.
And will that not be seen from the angle that when he is down? Because one of the conversations that we had around this, we're treating a life case.
Oh yeah.
One of the conversations that we had around this is that you chose when I was down to do this to me. Won't it be...
That's from the man's perspective?
From the man's perspective, that I'm already down. I'm already out.
Yeah.
This is the lowest point in my own life.
Yeah.
And you now choose this period because you said that, because you feel like you're providing now.
Yes.
You now chose that moment. Please, maybe you should just help us to balance this conversation.
All right. So it is okay for the woman to get to see the
Because
man's perspective
The
that
thing is,
he was down, he was at his lowest moment. There was something I mentioned earlier on. Have we really asked this question? Where was this woman mentally? We're not justifying infidelity. We're not justifying, that women, for any reasons, should go out there and do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
But the question is this: where was this woman psychologically? Where was she emotionally? Was she not down too? Was it something she did intentionally, just to get to the man? I think this is a question we must not forget to ask. Yeah, it is okay, for us to look at how the man felt.
Yeah.
We cannot deny his pain. Of course, I will never do that. We cannot deny the pain, the man felt, and the pain, he's still feeling right now. But to strike a balance, we must ask. I'm saying this, like a broken record. Where was this woman mentally? Going back, to the story, of Adam and Eve in the garden. Now, the Bible said, the account. I know, when we're in Sunday school, we're meant to believe, that Adam went out to hunt. Or Adam went out to do some work, and by the time he returned from work, the serpent had deceived Eve. But that was not the case. The Bible categorically said that when Eve took the fruit from the serpent, that Adam was right there with her. He was right there. So what will make you to be right there and have your woman having conversation with another man? It shows, there was a void that was created by the man that led, to that conversation. So if it is okay for us, to justify, the feeling of this man, his pain, his heart, I think it's also okay to justify the feeling in the heart of the woman as well.
Okay.
That's the balance.
Okay. I also think that maybe we should also, some of the things that I have heard.
Yes.
Some of the things that I have heard in speaking with people as well is that I didn't feel defended enough.
Okay.
That I'm with you. Something happens. It feels like you throw me under the bus all the time.
That's from the man, right?
Yes, from the man. And women, sometimes they talk about, I didn't feel defended enough. I didn't feel protected enough.
Okay.
That from people, from issues, something will happen in church, and the first thing you will do is, why did you go and do that thing? And she just feels like, and from trying to get understanding from other people, she discovered that she fell into infidelity. And I'm using the word fell.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because she open-eyedly walked into it. And let me continue to say that we are not talking about people that want to misbehave. No.
Yeah.
We are talking about people that they didn't want to do this, but they found themselves doing it. They are ordinarily good people.
Oh, yeah.
So those are the category of people that we are talking about. We are not talking about people that, they just want to enjoy life and know what it feels like. No, we're talking about well-meaning people that from time to time fall into temptation. And, these are some of the reasons. And in your opinion, as a man, listening to this kind of gist, what does it feel? How does it feel? And, sincerely, and I don't want to just take it on like, okay, I'm here to defend women. Do you think it's something that sounds right to the ears?
Okay. Speaking as a man, to be very honest, there's no man, who will love a woman. What's that? So when a man loves a woman, there's no man, who would genuinely love a woman, who will feel good, that his lover, his girlfriend, his heartthrob, his woman, had gone into infidelity. There's no man who will feel, good about that. talking about ego and the man's ego, and all of that is not the only reason, for a man to feel horrible. For the fact that I love a woman genuinely, from my heart, and something like this, had actually happened. Because of the love that I feel for her, that alone is enough to create, a heartbreak, for me. That is enough, however, I'm still going to say this. However, if I really do claim that I love this woman, and the love, that I have for her is not a self-serving or self-seeking love. I mean, it's not a self-seeking love, but a self-serving love. The first thing that I'm saying this again, and you can talk to IG about this. The first thing that I need to do as a man, as the leader, is to consider how my woman was feeling at that. That's the first thing I will do. That's not to take the pain that I feel away. Now, when it comes to emotional healing, we cannot
begin to heal.
Yeah, we cannot begin to heal, when we are in self-denial. Yeah, it is okay for the man, to feel the way, he was feeling rather, or the way he felt at the point, feeling shoved under the bus and all of that. But however, I'm still saying this. However, if you sincerely and truly love this woman, the first thing you will want to do is to really get to know where she was at that moment and get to know her reason. Like I said, different women, going through infidelity for different reasons.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about just
the fact that a woman commit infidelity does not make her a bad person. She has other qualities, for crying out loud. She's not a bad person, so we are not denying the man's pain. We are not denying the man's hurt. I will feel hurt because I love her first, not because of ego or any of those things, that we like to throw out there, all the time. Because I love her genuinely, I'll feel hurt. But still, out of the same love that I have for her, which is, a self-serving love, not a self-seeking love, I really want to know, how my woman, is feeling at that time. That would be my first concern.
Okay. We know that from what you have said so far, if I'm going to summarize,
yes,
anybody can make poor choices.
Yes,
if they are pressured
into
it. It is not gender based.
No,
it's a gender neutral issue.
Exactly.
And we should begin to know that just as I will feel bad and things will happen to me and I would make wrong choices.
Yeah.
This person, to my wife, a woman, can make wrong choices simply because of where, she was and the things that are happening around her. The last week's conversation, which you also mentioned just now, is huge for a lot of women, where the men are not taking financial leadership in the home, where she's pressured to become the breadwinner. It's huge for a lot of women, and the conversation has not even ended, because till tomorrow, anywhere I go to, it's looking like I'm the face of the breadwinner now. So we'll continue to have these conversations. But this conversation is not just because we want to. We also want people to be able to heal.
Yeah.
It's not just to be able to apportion blame. Society has done this, and but we also want to get to that point where we can say that, okay, these things can happen.
Oh yes.
So how do we begin to prevent? How do we begin to take precautions, knowing that, okay, she can be pressured, I can be pressured. The home front is under serious attacks. We both can make errors.
Yes.
So what is the way forward now? How can we begin to, take care of each other now? What advice would you have?
All right. Fantastic. I think it's extremely important for us to note that when it comes to marriage relationship, what really keeps relationship going is conversation. or communication.
Yeah.
And it is extremely important that in a marriage relationship, regardless of the seasons, we are, communication is always vital, always important. I love
But
this.
how honest can the conversations be?
That is the thing. And I know that we're still going to go back to societal, conditioning.
Yeah.
Societal conditioning, has made it in such a way that the woman is the one who should always strike, conversation with the man. She's the one. Of course, women, communicate more. We can't deny that. But I think, for us to find meaningful ways, to cut this, men too need to get to that point where they begin to deliberately, I'm using this word, intentionally, where they need to intentionally, deliberately begin to have real, heartfelt, deep conversation with their wives. When I mean, deep, heartfelt conversation, emotionally, from time to time, I want to know
Where
how,
you are.
yeah, where, yeah. how you
Okay,
feeling.
somebody said something.
Okay.
Okay, somebody said something. She
Okay.
said, and this is mine now. She said, sexual reasons as well.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, yeah.
Some men don't last. In fact, women will be stoned for that one. Oh.
No, which is why we must not shy away. I said from deep and meaningful
Conversations.
Men actually do. Forget all these things. Society have said. We talk. Watch us. Talk about football. Watch us talk about Arsenal.
Your
Versus.
interests,
We talk.
gadgets, technology, cars. Yeah, you talk, and I can attest to that.
We talk. Don't be fooled by what society. I know I'm going counterculture. Don't be fooled by what society, has told you. Men do talk. When you see men, maybe hanging out talking, you'll be amazed at how loud, we can be. When we're having, conversation centered around maybe the economy, Nigerian economy, insecurity and what have you. So in the same vein, if we really claim to love the women in our life, women are meant to be conversed with. Women are meant to be talked to. They are not meant, to be kept. We're
So they're not properties.
No.
Okay, another thing that somebody said here is that in this present day and age, some people actually have revenge affairs.
Oh, fantastic. Revenge affair is...
You committed adultery.
Yes.
Or, no, we have nicer names for it now. You had an affair, and I'll have mine too. So the playing ground is...
I think that's extremely childish. Let's
but it happens.
But yeah,
it happens.
It happens.
If we're going to have real conversations,
it happens.
People just feel like, so that we can start on a normal playing ground.
I get you. It happens, but I think, if we are going to go all out, what do you call it, a tick for tat? Because you did this, I'm going to do this. I think is highly immature. Is highly immature. Now, I will still nail this to the coffin. It is extremely important, whenever this happened, for us to know, where was this person? I'm saying this again. Where was this person emotionally? Where was this person psychologically as at the time that this happened? It is important. We judge people mostly by their actions, but we judge ourselves, by our intentions.
Yeah.
So I think it is critical, for us to begin to have conversations centered around people's intention for, committing this, kind of offense, or for doing, this kind of thing. We are not justifying it.
No, we are not justifying.
We are not. But it is extremely important to deal with the why instead of, dealing with the what was done. We must deal with the why.
I actually also think that when will married people begin to become team members? When would you see your team member? When would you see your spouse? This is gender neutral now. When will you begin to see your spouse as my teammate? And when my teammate is bleeding, and my teammate is hurting.
Oh, yes.
And you are trying to get into the head of your teammates to find out how did you get here?
Yeah.
what did I do to contribute?
Yeah.
I think that until we begin to get to that point where it is not a one man's game,
Yes.
that I am doing all the right things. It is not about the roles that you're playing. It is not about the contributions, physical contributions alone. I bought you car, I bought you house, I did this, I did that, and vice versa. Some women actually do that too to their men. They buy cars, they give material contributions and expect that the person will be okay. And but when we begin to when will we get to that point where we will know that this is my teammate, and this my teammate is failing, is falling, and is in dire need of help and resuscitation? And I think until we get to that point where we
Yes.
know that this is us
Yes.
that is being attacked.
Oh, yes.
They are the two of us
Yes.
against the world.
Yeah.
Not having that self-righteous view about things, that I will not do that, so why did you do it?
Exactly.
I will not. I think until we get to that point, I think we still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
We still have a long way to go. We must begin to get into that space where we know that this true conversations should be allowed. I should not be judged
Exactly.
for what I think and feel. Instead, somebody should be trying to process where I'm coming from.
Exactly.
Because I may not always make sense to
Yeah.
your world.
Oh, yes.
My feelings may not be validated in your world.
Yeah.
You grew up in a different setting. I grew up in a different
Exactly.
setting. And we don't have the same view to life.
Exactly.
And if I begin to tell you that this matters in my world, is it okay for you to just pay attention and listen to me?
That's a key word.
Yes,
That's the key word.
listen to me
Yeah.
and find out where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't make sense in your world.
Exactly.
But in my world, it's a big deal. And you begin to lend me a hand and a voice, because judgment is real.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at someone alone, the person will feel judged. There is a way that someone will look at you and you feel judged. In fact, when this lady was saying that, the lady in the story,
Yeah.
when she said that, you know what, I want a divorce. If you see the look that she told me, that the looks of the people around, that you were caught doing bad thing, and somebody gave you grace.
That's society.
And somebody is giving you grace. Not even society alone. Even our own parents. Are you okay? A man decides to forgive you, and now you are saying, but nobody is trying to validate what she feels. That this judgment is heavy. It's heavy. So I don't know. In beginning to, we're trying to begin to
wrap it up
now. What advice what do you want to say that you have not said, and what advice would you generally want to
Someone said, I think it's Mike Murdoch. Mike Murdoch said that God gives us a family to protect us from the enemy. God gives us a family to protect us from an enemy. And so when the family that is meant to defend us or protect us from the enemy turns into the enemy, then you have double enemies to battle with. The idea of relationship or marriage relationship is not just what society, has made it in the negative sense. The most important part of a marriage relationship is the fact that we are in this, like you mentioned earlier, not just for all the other things, that happen in the relationship, but we're in this as a team. We're in this because we truly, genuinely cared for, each other. That should be the number one reason, regardless of any other thing, that is happening in the relationship or happening, around you. We must first reckon with the fact that, hey, babe, or whatever, sweetheart, honey, we're here as a team. We're here. It's us against the world. It's me and you against the world. That should be the mentality. Unfortunately, it is no longer so in this day. It's always about, trying to pick on each other's wrong and fault. We've said this before, and I'm going to repeat this again. Infidelity does not make a person a bad person. This woman is not that's not
choice.
Exactly at that point.
Yeah.
And so, we must come back to that table of knowing that, hey, it's you and I against the world.
Yeah.
That's the vow, we made On the I mean on the
On the
altar, on the
altar.
altar, we must not forget that children will come and go. This this present, storm they are dealing with, it will come and go if they handle it well. It will come and go. I've been through, in my few years I've been married. By the way, happy. Okay, let me not.
Yes. You can go there.
Happy anniversary. That's 22, 21 years now.
22 years.
22 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So wow, that's a lot.
Okay, please, babes, come.
That's 2 decades plus 2 years. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So things do happen. All there is to marriage relationship is not high peeps on Facebook. A lot happen in a marriage relationship, and I think it is extremely important for the man and the woman, to have this never say die attitude.
Yeah.
We are in this, babes. We are in this together, regardless of what happened. We can overcome anything, together. I think this must be, the mentality, as against always dishing out, blames, to one another. It was as a result of what you did.
Yeah.
We must have that, loving attitude. We must have that, we must have that, constantly, walk in that disposition where we truly walk in God's unconditional love.
Babes, come.
Towards each other.
Okay, for me, in closing,
Wow.
I just want to say that, I think that people cannot
22.
change. People cannot change if they are not, if they don't, if they can't be real.
Oh, yeah.
People cannot change if they cannot be real,
Wow.
if they can't be heard, if their truth is not given a place for expression. So I think that everybody should know that. No, in as much as I want to, I feel like criticizing this person. Let me allow your truth first.
To be heard.
By the time your truth is heard, we'll now be able to work on the morals, and whatever needs to be fixed has a good place of being fixed, instead of just judging people up front. So to this very beautiful man that is here,
Beautiful.
this my handsome bubble. I wish this my t-shirt can show. Oh, you're not showing on Instagram. Come closer.
Okay.
Let us squeeze ourselves inside the photo place.
Oh, I'm actually. Did we plan this? I have
In
dealt with.
fact. Okay, so our t-shirt says that we have been married since
Wow.
1999.
99. Wow.
And this is my very handsome boyfriend.
Wow.
And today you are here in the studio.
Wow.
How are you, girlfriend?
Yeah, thank you very much. Pastor John Jean, as much as I was trying not to call you that, I actually feel like I want to appreciate this man.
Wow.
And I want to publicly do that.
Wow.
Because he has been a real source of strength.
Amazing.
Thank you. I want to say
Wow.
thank you. I tread on
Wow.
grounds that are very sensitive. I know I have conversations. In fact, there was a time that somebody said, what does your husband think about that thing that you are saying? I said, we are on board together. I said, wow. Then he must be trying. I want to say thank you.
I'm actually blushing.
You blush.
I want to say thank you for giving me wings to fly.
Wow.
For allowing me to speak my truth. I know that I am flawed, and we are all flawed, and I know that I don't. If that is the only thing that is seen about me, life will be difficult.
Yeah.
But most of the time, you choose to see beyond the things that I do wrong or the places that I'm inadequate.
Wow.
And you just choose to celebrate the little things that I do.
Wow.
I see that with the kids as well. I'm not a very organized person when it comes to cooking, but nobody ever makes it a big deal.
Wow.
Nobody makes it a big deal.
Wow.
I have, like I said, I have my flaws, even in motherhood and everything. But I feel like a star every time because it's just usually about the things that I do right. And I want to appreciate you. Thank you for being that strong man. Thank you for not being that person that would begin to misinterpret the things that I do here. Because sometimes if my husband feels threatened by what I do, if he's not confident in
Oh
himself,
yeah.
and he begins to say,
Oh, yeah.
"Don't try láti bá mi wí lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn." Were you trying to talk to me? Were you trying to, talk to me through the back door? Are you trying to insult me? Or, I just speak my truth, however it is. And the meaning you always interpret right. And I want to thank you for being a strong man and for being one of the most secure men that I know.
Amazing. Wow.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Congratulations.
Well, the feeling is actually very mutual. I mean, I appreciate you too. I tell you all the time, the kids and I, we really appreciate what you do and your doggedness, your dexterity at doing the things that you do, and you're never giving up spirit.
Wow.
Encourages me all the time.
Wow.
I'm challenged to even be better because you get it right always. So
Amazing.
I appreciate you also.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Happy wedding anniversary.
Romantic moments.
Yes, we are rubbing you in.
Thanks for sharing the moment.
Yes, so
Thanks for
congratulations.
sharing the moment with us.
Thank you.
And I pray that
where are you taking me to today?
when it comes to a female breadwinner, I'm not one of them.
Talking about breadwinner. I'm talking about when John G, you've been advocating for the female form.
Yes, sir.
And so, for once,
Yes, sir.
I did make a comment earlier when I was listening and watching you guys.
Yes, sir.
Look, I hope the Association of Husbands.
Associations of husbands.
I'm sorry, must it always be the guy that will take his wife out? Sweet role. I've been taking you out for 21 years.
Yes. That one is actually character assassination. I take you out. I buy you.
This is becoming interesting.
Same market. I drive you there.
Okay. We will. I'll.
Yes.
This matter failure. Otherwise.
No. She's taking you out today.
Offline, I'll do it.
It's on you, ma. It's on you today.
Okay, so that Association of Husbands have commanded that I take him out, and I'm going to do that. Thank you so much, babes. God bless you.
I'll come back to report.
Okay, and I actually want to thank you to John G. Emmanuel for being here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you
For speaking your
Sorry,
truth.
Association of Husband, we have to say the truth.
Not your case. We'll come back to your case. I will table your case.
Thank
I will write it on the agenda of the next meeting. So,
Association of Husbands, please bear with this my wonderful team for just being very truthful. Thank you so much, John G, for being here today.
Thank you.
We really appreciate your honesty.
Thanks for your frankness.
Thank you.
Thanks for saying it as it is. Because oftentimes the woman is misjudged. It's a cultural thing. It's a chauvinistic thing for men, and it's amazing how the women have been demonized.
Yeah.
So, thanks for letting the voice to speak on their behalf.
In fact, I wasn't actually expecting that depth from. I just thought that it was going to be that conversation. So we continue the conversation next week. Thank you so much, everyone, for always joining in. Thanks for sharing our videos. I don't even remember to say share, but people actually share our videos, and I really want to appreciate. Thanks for sharing our videos. Thanks for liking. Thanks for commenting, and thanks for just generally being on board with us. And we expect that you continue to be here on our journey to growth. God bless you, everybody. And from all of us here, we want to say bye.
Don't take me out. I'm going to